Okay, let's talk about the history and legacy of the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire, and Ottoman Empire. Now, understand that all of these have direct impact on what's been taking place for thousands of years. So, if you invest time and knowledge into history, you will find that all three are basically could be under the umbrella of what's considered the West. So what it is the West is basically trying to recover and maintain the empires of bygone days, and to expand and expand on that empire. And that's what it is. That's what imperialism is. That's what colonialism is. Oh, and I'm sorry. There's also the British Empire. So, you had the Greek Empire, which was overtaken by the Roman Empire, which included a large section of the Greek Empire. And then you had the Ottomans, and then the British Empire. And the Ottomans, which is Turkey, you have to understand Constantinople is in Turkey. So you have to understand that all of it is just one continuous effort to maintain an empire, and how it all comes together to explain what's been taking place since the fall of the British Empire, and how resource and monopoly on trade and resources and basically money and finance, it comes all under it. And the next step of that empire was the U.S., which took over the reins of the last empire to have Western Empire to have gone down, only to be replaced by the U.S. and the U.S. petrodollar, which also includes paying for minerals and food and basically everything you can trade, and that's one of the continuous levers of empire. And so, if you take all of this into context, if you understand this, you understand the motivations and the reasons for why the West does what it does. You also understand why the Turks want the reemergence of the Ottoman Empire, because they want Erdogan and his ambitious criminal cronies. That's what they want. It all comes down to monopoly and control. And that's the name of the game. That's where human lives, don't matter. It's only human capital matters. Human capital can be used to extract the resources, to be used to enforce the unfair, unequal, unjust, and unjust dictates of those who want to be the hegemonic monopoly rulers. And that's an ambition that all of Western civilization can be boiled down to. Even the Russians with the Tsars and Catherine and Catherine the Great, they all of them had similar ambitions. So, you have to understand that, Siberia, which is basically, were populated by a mix of steppe people from the far and central eastern areas, and also the ones that Eskimos sprang up from. They're, you think of Eskimos, you only think of North America and Alaska. But the thing is, if you understand history, there was a land bridge from Siberia, which is in the far eastern part, going all the way up towards, very close to Moscow, which was basically what the Russia was, a little bit further, further west of, east of Russia, Moscow. So, those were, from a little bit east of Moscow all the way to the, all the way east into the North Arctic oceans and seas. The Antarctic, basically were populated by Inuit and other, so, and, the whole thing that you hear about in history is that, it was because of the Mongols, and that did play a part in it, but it was more than that. There's always more than one reason, and that's just that's just soft pedaling ambitions for wanting to conquer and rule. And so Siberia is huge, and so basically the Russians forced their way in, with basically saying, giving this bogus reason, the Mongols it's because of the Mongols, it's because of this, so they use that, but basically, but basically after the Russians basically ended up taking Alaska and Siberia and all that other stuff, and then later on, the last period of their great expansion was the Soviet Union, and otherwise they haven't really been making efforts, except for the period during except for the period during the 1940s into the 50s, when the Russians took a significant amount of territory from the Chinese, which caused the Chinese to, in the 1970s, to have an incursion into Vietnam to basically dissuade the Vietnamese from growing politically and economically closer to the Soviet Union, and DD in the yard. So other than that, China hasn't really. China has never really been expansionary, and so you have to understand this. When you understand this, you get a broader, a more complete picture, and you get clarity. So it's vital that people understand this, and and one way you can do that to start with is to look at the map and go look at the historical maps of the different empires and and what territories they ended up taking, and understand that territory means basically conquering of people and land and subjugating them. And subjugation means repression. It means violence. It always repression. It's always like that. Always. And so, we need to invest in order to get a clear vision, clarity in our understanding. Without that, we won't have context, and we can't understand, and we will easily fall for these fake moralities and ethics and like the human rights nonsense and all that other stuff. And we will continue to repeat. It's this rinse and repeat. Because our understanding is based on abject ignorance. Ignorance that motivates us to react in an emotionally retarded way that ultimately comes back to blow back onto us. And so that's what empires do. When their repression, their violence ultimately has to come back, because your basic needs, your ability to exist in a sense of stable security dries up, and it starts disappearing, and you get angry because you get angry because you don't understand. You are angry in ignorance, without clarity, and therefore you are reactionary. And when you are reactionary, you make bad decisions. You ignore, and you become boxed in. You get tunnel vision, and you become irrational, and you need some sort of excuse, whether it's morality or ethics or feeling of superiority, in order to escape, because it's basically escapism from reality, from the facts, from the truth. And that is what the ruling class, who own all the means of information, who control the levers of industry, of lands, resources, and everything, and that's how they can bleed you. That's how they can steal from you. That's how they can pillage and plunder you. That's how. And so, within that ignorance, you allow these detrimental harms to happen, and community and solidarity, and it becomes meaningless. And that's why we ignorantly accept this idea of individualism. And it's ultimately destructive because it takes away the community. It takes away the stability and security. It takes away our enlightened self-interest, which is a collective thing. So we need to understand. We need to know, and you can't do that if you don't invest. And it's the most important investment because it's educating yourself. It's allowing you to learn and understand the dynamics and what these parasites are willing to do, and the harms that they cause. The harms which doesn't support you looking out for your children, for your friends, for your loved ones, for your community. It's putting blinders on yourself. And that only hurts us collectively.